Welcome back, Flow fanatics. The automation landscape in Salesforce is going to be revolutionized. With Summer 25 release, Salesforce is bringing a lot of powerful features in Salesforce Flow, which will make your automation dream a reality. So get ready to unlock unprecedented efficiency and build even more sophisticated solution with the incredible enhancement that I'm going to dive in today. So let's explore the future of Salesforce automation together. So the first feature which I'm going to talk today is about how you can create flow. There is a new user interface that is coming up in Summer 25 release. So if you go to setup and in your quick find, if you type for flow, and from here if you click on new flow, you will find there is a new UI that is coming up. And it's called the new automation, under which you have the triggered flow, schedule flow, screen flow, auto launch flow. You can create all different types of flow. If you click on view all under the trigger, you will find the record triggered flow, platform event triggered flow, record trigger orchestration, all the different types. So this is a new UI through which you can create your flow. There is another way you can create your flow. So if you go to your home, right here, if you click on this drop down, you will find an option called flow. If you click here, it's basically the same. It will take you to the same screen, the new automation window, and here you can create your all different types of flow. So the next feature which I'm going to talk today is about get related records faster, and currently this feature is in a beta mode. So let's build the flow. So here I am in my setup window, and let's create a flow. And all I'm trying to do is basically I'm trying to create a screen flow where I will be fetching the accounts. I'll be pass the account ID to the flow, and from one get record, I'll be fetching the related contacts and related opportunities and display them in a data table. So let me first create an element, create a resource of record ID, and let's be a text and input for variable. So this is a variable which will hold the account ID, which will be passed from the UI to this flow. Okay, with that, here in this one, I'm going to click on get records and get all records. So I'm going to search with account, and here you will find an option called also get related records, and currently it's in the beta. So the moment you click on this checkbox, you'll find this option where it's basically telling you how you can configure which records that you want to fetch. So here, which account I want to fetch, where the ID, account ID matches with the record ID. So that's the account I want to fetch. But at the same time, I want to fetch the related records from this account. So I'll click on this select related records. And under this one, I'm going to click on this plus sign. And here I'm going to type contact. So select this object. Also, I want to fetch opportunity. You can go even further. You can go for opportunity if there is any opportunity histories. So you can fetch that also. So now let's configure that. This window is very powerful. Look what I'm doing. So if you click on here, you can find out what are the fields that you want to fetch from this account. So let's say I want to fetch the name, I want to fetch the email, or I want to fetch the phone. I can do a filter, which I have already done. Let's go to the contact. In the contact, I am going to fetch the first name, last name, email. I'm going to fetch all the records, it means all the contacts from this account. I can do the sort in ascending or descending order. So for the time being, let's make it non-sorted. Under the opportunity, I am going to fetch the name of the opportunity and amount. And also here, I am going to make a filter where let's make the filter as opportunity amount is greater than 100. And let's click all opportunities. And here, if you see from the account, I'm going to fetch this. From contacts, I'm going to fetch all these fields. From opportunity, I'm going to fetch all these fields. Related to opportunity, from the opportunity history, I'm going to fetch the opportunity history ID. So as you can see, in one get record, I'm not only fetching the single record, I'm fetching all the related records or all the child objects from that object. For example, from here account, I'm going to fetch the related contacts, related opportunities, and from opportunities, I'm fetching all the related opportunity histories. So let's click on save, and one get record element is going to give me account, related contacts, related opportunities, and related opportunity histories. So now display them. Let's bring a screen element. Let's make a section. And inside this section, let's create a text called, no, not this text. Inside this, let's bring display text and account. And then bring from here account name and phone. Now let's create one more section. Now here, this section will be about contacts. And since it will be multiple contacts, I'm going to show them in a data table. Let's put the data table below or make here. So here, show all the contacts, but this one needs a source collection. The source collection will be from here, get contacts, and in the configure row, first name, last name, email. So it's going to show all the contacts, first name, last name, and email. Let's create one more section, and this section is going to show the related opportunities. Oops, sorry. And here also I'm going to bring the data table because it will be multiple opportunities. In the source collection, I'm going to select this one, and here I'm going to give the opportunity name and the amount. Done. Let's give it a name as fetch all related records. Click on activate. Now let's come back to this account page and bring this here. Let's click on setup and edit page. And here in the detail, let's create one more tab. Give the name of the tab as custom tab, and let's give the name as all related records. Done. And here let's bring this flow, and the flow name is fetch all related records. Here I'm passing the account ID and click on save, and let's see. Now if I come here, I can see this is my account, these are all the contacts under this account, and these are all the opportunities. But if you go to the related section, I have 3 opportunities. Only for this opportunity the amount is less than 100. So that's why here it's showing only these 2 opportunities where the amount is greater than 100, because in my flow, where in the get record section where I'm configuring the how I can fetch all the opportunities, under the opportunity I have put a filter, get me all the opportunities where the amount is greater than 100. So this is a very powerful way how you can not only fetch one record but fetch all the related records within a single element. With that, the next feature which I'm going to talk about is basically how you can get more control over your components and field layouts in the screen flow. So let's come here and create a flow, and let's create a screen flow, and let's add a screen element, give the name as screen. Now here let's add 2 text field, display text and display text. So now as you can see here, let's give this the name as first name, and let's give this name as last name. So now you can see here immediately you will find an option called style. So if you click on that, here you can configure what is the width of your component. So basically it will be in a grid of 12. So if you put 12 of 12, it means you are taking the full width, but you have the option, you can choose half width, which is basically 6 of 12, and then it will come like that. And here also if you can choose 6 of 12, then 2 are coming next to each other. But here you can do, let's say first name is probably a little longer, so I'll give it a 9 of 12, and this one I'll give as 3 of 12. So they're still coming next to each other. So this is a way how you can control the way your elements will be displayed on the screen. Not only that, you have an option here. If you see the preview size, you have an option of large, medium and small. So basically if you have a phone and if you are accessing this flow from a phone, how this flow will behave, how the flow will look like. This is how it will look like when this flow will be rendered in the phone UI. If you are medium, for example a tablet, this is how it will look like. If you have a large window, basically a computer, this is how it will look like. So after Summer 25 release, you have the option to visualize how your flow will look into multiple devices when they will getting rendered. Okay, so the next feature which I'm going to talk today is about how you can help users make selection faster by adding icons to the choice resources. Same is if you're a visual picker, how you can add icons so that your end users will get a visual impression what they're choosing. So for that, let's come back to this flow again. And let's say, let's delete this too. I don't need. So here, let's say I have a choice. So I'm going to choose a choice lookup. Let's say give a name as choice lookup. And here, when you configure the choices, you will, let's say, create a choice resource. Here, choice, and let's give a name as add, choice level as add, and here you'll find an option called choose icon. So if you click on this icon, you will find this option. So you can select add and save. Let's choose one more choice, and this time let's make it as minus. And again choose this icon and click on save. Done. Let's give it a name as demo. Save, and let's do the debug. So what will happen is that in the choice lookup, you will find these 2 icons will automatically get rendered. So it is a visual impression to your end users, like what they are choosing when inside the choice lookup. Similar way, in the screen element, there is another component called visual picker. So if you bring that here, let's give a name as visual picker, and in the choice, let's select add, another choice, let's select minus. So this is how it will be rendered. So click on done, save as new version, and let's do the debug. So this is how they will be displayed. It will be icon followed by the name, the label that you'll give. With that, the next feature which I'm going to talk today is about a very powerful feature, which is basically it will allow users to stay on a single screen, and there will be some action that will happen at the back end of the screen which will fetch the data and display the data. So I'm going to build the flow and I'm going to show you that. So the use case is I'm going to build a screen flow where I'm going to give the option to the end users to select a account, and the moment the account is selected, the account ID will be passed to an auto launch flow which will fetch all the contacts from that account and display in the main flow in a data grid format. How can we do that? So for that, let's create a flow, an auto launch flow which is going to fetch all the contacts for the selected account. So I'm going to select auto launch flow, no triggered, and here I'm going to create two resources. One resource is basically the account ID. It will be a text and it will be available for input, and another one will be all contacts, and it will be a record of type contact, and multiple contacts because one account can have multiple contacts, and it will be available for output because this is the context which I'm going to pass to the main flow. So let's click on done, and let's click on plus sign, and let's get records. I'm going to fetch all the contacts, fetch contact. I'm going to fetch contact, and the requirement is account ID should match with the account ID, and it's going to fetch all the records. And here, this is very important, where the output will be stored. Output will be stored into all contacts, and what are the fields I'm going to fetch from the contact? For example, first name, last name, and email. That's all I need to fetch. So now let's click on this flow, fetch contacts from accounts. Let's save the flow. Now let me create the main flow. For that, I'm going to click on create and click on flow, and it's going to be a screen flow. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to fetch all the contacts, all the accounts from my org. So get all accounts. It will be an account and no condition and all records. So what this element is doing, fetching all the accounts from my org. So let's save this account, save the flow, fetch contacts from selected account. That's the name of the flow. With that, let's start with my screen element. Let's give the name. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to include a choice lookup. Give the name as select an account. It's going to be a required field. Here under the choice, I am going to create a new choice element and record choice set, not the record choice set, collection choice set. And here I'm going to see accounts, the one that I fetched recently. Here I'm going to give the account name, and the value will be the ID, account ID. Okay, let's click on done. So here in the choice lookup, all I'm doing is basically passing all the accounts which are fetched from my org, and when someone select an account, the corresponding account ID will be passed from the choice lookup. But what I want, that account ID should go to my auto launch flow here and pass me all the corresponding contacts from that account. So for that, what I can do, in the screen element, in the screen properties, there is an option called configure screen action. This is something new. And here you can select your auto launch flow, which you want to call. So I'm going to call my auto launch flow, which is basically the fetch contacts from accounts. And here I'm going to pass the account ID. Account ID will be, this is my lookup and this is a value. So this is my account ID which I am going to pass. Once the account ID will pass from the main flow to this auto launch flow, it will execute and it will return me all the contacts which I want to display on the main flow in a data table format. Let's bring the data table which will display all the contacts that are coming from the flow. So here all fetch contacts, and here I am going to pass the screen action, which is basically, this is the screen action and the result, and then the all contacts. And here I am going to display the first name, I'm going to display the last name and the email, and then click on done and the done, and let's save as new version, activate, and let's click on debug. So as you can see, it's telling me that these are all the accounts that I have in my org. So now if I select one of the account, immediately the corresponding contacts from that account is coming here. If I cancel that and select a new account, for example this one, this is the only contact I have. If I select another one, Edge Communications, these are the two contacts I have. So this is a way how you can configure auto launch flow, which will be called as a screen action based on the input that you pass from the screen to your auto launch flow. And this auto launch flow is something that will run at the backend process and give you the result back, which you can show on the main flow. Again, this is a very powerful feature and it's going to optimize the way how you are creating your flow today. I'm quite sure you are going to take advantage of this powerful feature. Please put in the comment section what is your use case, in which scenario you are going to use this feature. With that, the next feature which I'm going to talk about is basically how easily you can add the default path in your flow. So for example, if you see in this flow, I have this get record and I have these 3 vertical dots. I can click here and I can easily add my fault path here. So this is a very easy way how you can create your fault path. So the next feature which I'm going to talk about is all about enhanced debug log. So let's say if you debug this flow, immediately here in the debug details, you will find the option like screen action, debug trace and all this thing. If you select an account here, you will find another debug log, like this is action, this is the screen action that was taken, this is the debug trace, this is the screen action that has been taken, this is the debug trace, and in the debug trace these are the fetch contacts and everything happened and came back as Sam. This is the first name as Jam, Sam, Andy Young. All this information you can see here, and same thing you can see on the screen. So your debug log will give you more information so that you can easily debug your flow and find out where the error coming from. Okay, with that, the last feature which I'm going to talk about, the enhanced email action. So in this flow, let's consider this flow and click on this one, click on this plus sign and click on action. Here you will find an email action. So immediately in the email action, if you come a little down, you will find now you can configure your sender details. Like what is the sender type? Is it your current user? Is it your default workflow user? Or is it your org-wide email address? And also you can save the email address for your sender details. At the same time, the most important and most helpful feature which is coming in Summer 25, right now, either you can write your email content, or if you have an email template, you can immediately select the email template here. It will display all the template IDs. You can select an email template and then use that email template to send an email from your flow. So this is a very helpful feature. I personally know a lot of admins, a lot of developers are waiting for this feature for a long time. So a special thank you to the Salesforce Flow team for bringing this feature in action. So that's all for today. I hope with this powerful feature, you are going to bring a lot of automations to your end users. If you like this video, please share this video with your friends, with your colleagues, so that they came to know about all the powerful flow features that are coming up in Summer 25 release. And if you like this video, please consider subscribing to my channel so that in future when I'll publish more videos like this, you'll be the first person to be notified. Till then, thank you. Bye bye.